Welcome everyone, this is Beryl Akinyi from Saba Family, and we are bringing you the Golden Marriage Show. We have beautiful stories lined up for you guys, and I promise you, you will be blessed. Today we are here in Vihiga County, Bunyore, and the place is serene. Let's hear from what our beautiful golden couples have for us today.
Welcome, dear friends and family. This is the Golden Marriage Show, and as usual, this show is here to educate you, to bring up to your marriage and encourage you. We are here to learn from an older couple that have gone ahead of us so that they can tell us how did they deal with issues in their marriage that are breaking most of our marriages today. So today, on the show, we have Bishop Mwale and his lovely wife. Welcome, friends. Let us hear from them. Karibuni sana, introduce yourself and tell us who you are.
Okay. My name is Maurice Mwale. I'm a minister of the gospel with Grace Covenant Church in Kenya. That's it.
Okay. Yeah, that's
Married
a good
for
intro.
how long?
I've been married for the last 32 years.
Wow,
Quite a
32
long.
years.
32 years.
That's so inspiring.
Can see this girl. She has endured staying with me for 32 years.
Endured. Okay.
Let's
Let
hear
us hear
from
from
Mom.
My name is Connie Mwale. Like he has said, we've been together for the last 32 years. Well, as he says, maybe I've endured. I'm not sure if it was endurance and who was enduring each other. Who was enduring who, we will find out today maybe in the
Okay.
process.
That's great. They say that people say that marriage is to be enjoyed. Others said marriage is to be endured. But someone told us on a show that before you enjoy, you must endure. You remember?
Yeah,
that you
and
cannot
that
go
one- that
through
one really
enjoyment
touched me.
before enduring. So both of them work. So maybe you'll tell us, 2 years ago, how did all this story begin? Ilianzia wapi? Alikuwa anatoka mtoni ukamweka kwa mbegu kukimbia na yeye ama how did the story start?
Sure.
I was working somewhere in Nairobi, in Parklands, and I was staying in Mathare North. Mathare North is an estate that borders Huruma. So I used to go to Westlands to pick a bus. It was Kenya bus. From Westlands straight to Huruma, then I'll walk to Mathare North. So there's this one day I go on this bus and I see all the seats were full. So I was hanging in the bus. I used to hang in the bus like this. So somehow, I don't know what happened, I got stuck somewhere. There was this girl who looked so innocent, and she was sitting with a man I didn't like so much.
That's funny.
So I thought, this girl looks like she's...
Enduring?
But this man is telling a lot of stories, So I think I made up my mind. The warrior in me said that I must rescue this girl. So I stuck there. They'll try to push me behind, I'll give way, pay other people to go behind, I'll just stick there. Then by good luck, when we arrived in town, this other guy now alighted in town. I remember we were going all the way to Huruma. So I used all the skills I have to make sure that I'm the one sitting in that place. Not many people will understand what Kenya bus is right now. But we used to be packed in. So even when someone alights, for you to get that place, you must be a very strong man. Because there are many people who are in that place. So you can imagine what I did to get there. So I went and sat there. But I had a disadvantage. I grew up in this village up to 18 years. I went to Msere Boys High School here. I used to walk across here to Msere Boys and come back. So I had very little skill of communication. I had just gone to the city. So I was looking at her and saying, what do I tell her now?
You've gotten the opportunity, you're already seated.
I'm seated there. So I just sat. I said, whatever will happen, will happen. Then we came all the way from Westlands, through town, up to Huruma. Then now, when I look back with high knowledge, I've understood there's a way God works behind the scenes to direct the affairs of men. So when we arrived at Huruma, it was raining.
Opportunity.
Seriously raining. I've not said a word. From town, I just sat there and kept not even asking a name or anything. I was a very shy man. I didn't know how to say what. But I knew I was in the right place. So we alighted at the stage. It was raining. Then she removed an umbrella. I said, excuse me, will you mind sheltering me in your umbrella? And she looked at me, said, okay. So we walked a small distance. She told me, I'm going this way. I said, I'm going the other direction. I said, how far is your place from here? She said, it's just nearby. So I said, can I escort you? You go to your place. Then you help me with the umbrella. I go with it, then I'll bring it back. That's all I said that day. So
Man of very few words.
I took the umbrella, went with it, and brought the umbrella back. Then I told her I will let my mother know that I've met a very wonderful girl who has helped me with an umbrella. And she was like, what's wrong with this man? So when I brought the umbrella, there was scarcity of sugar in Nairobi at that time. She told me, come in, have a cup of tea. I said, oh, you have sugar? Yes. So I went in the house, had a cup of tea. Then I started coming now for cups of tea.
The Luya in you.
The Luya in me took advantage of that. So can I come back again for a cup of tea? Say, yes, come, just come for a cup of tea. Said, you know me, I can't get sugar. I said, there's sugar here, you come for a cup of tea. So I'll just go with my friend. I had a friend, we'll go, have a cup of tea, then we'll go away. Then we did that for about a month or so. Then I left for Mombasa, I think. I went to Mombasa for a month. Then when I was there, I don't know why, I had a number, telephone number, a place of work. So when I went there were no mobile phones those days. I looked for a booth nearby, and I called her. I told her, anytime you need to call me, you can call in this booth. So after a week, she called me and said, I've missed you.
Hallelujah.
You know, so far I've not said anything. I've just taken a cup of tea, cups of tea.
Women we see far.
Then she said, I've missed you. I think the phone dropped out of my hands.
You're now thinking in the same direction.
Then I said, I'm coming back. I cancelled my stay in Mombasa and came. If you are missed, I came back. The rest is history.
Wow.
Beautiful story.
We must say this at the beginning of this show. We never got married with a pomp wedding. I was born in a Christian family. I got born again at the age of 12, I think. I grew up in the church. Church was my lifestyle. But if there's something called backsliding, then I had backslidden at that time. I had gone to the club, I was drinking and those kind of things. So I didn't think that God works. So my life was now far away from God. So I never went into the wedding things. We never went into counseling or anything. We have a unique marriage.
And I think we share that of the foundation.
Yeah.
We also don't have that
It was
background.
just shady, but now we see we are headed there. If you are
It's
there,
encouraging us.
the 2 years will come here.
Sisi tunaita bahati nasibu, yani.
So that in the next 20 years, since we got 12, so in the next 20 years.
12 years?
Yes.
You know, if you are 20 years in 10 years in marriage, you're 10 years in marriage now.
12.
12. and you are sharing our experience of 32 years, then you are 32 years in marriage.
Amen.
Amen. Let us take that.
Amen. Well, that's a beautiful story.
That's
You
a
want
very
to add
good
anything?
beginning. So maybe, Ma'am, do you have something to add on that story of Umbrella? Why you kept on telling him to come back for a cup of tea?
Let's say like this,
Eh?
before he went to Mombasa, we had related for about a month, and it was nothing to do with relationship in terms of
Love or
love
something.
affairs, but we had created a rapport.
Wow.
We were good friends.
Wow.
We were good friends, and like he said, we didn't have mobiles, but the short times when he would come for the cup of tea with his friends, we would just have a good rapport, good stories, just chatting.
Wow.
And I think it is those stories. At that point when I missed, it is them stories that I had missed. I think
You meant the story.
I think so, but well, it
I
is subject to,
misunderstood you there.
it is subject to
They misunderstand
all
for you.
all in all, we are here,
Yeah.
That's
irrespective of whatever the missing was.
Wow. I know this the 2 years has not been a walk in the park. Yeah, for me to see you guys shining like this, we've been following you, what you're doing in the great ministry of Grace Covenant.
Sure.
And how we've been seeing you connecting very nice couples in your weddings, Nini. And you cannot begin having such if you didn't plan something. So I know in your marriage, you've gone through seasons that were not very pleasant, but you managed to come out of them. So maybe I'll ask you to share with us one of the seasons that you think you can share with us
And the
today,
lessons,
and the lessons that maybe you came out of that season.
I think my entire life is preparation for ministry. Because in my early stages of marriage, I think I sank to the lowest level of decadence. Because I even don't know why I got married in the first place. I was living with a woman that I love so much. But I'll always find that I don't spend time with her. I'll spend my entire time clubbing. I try to drag her along, tell her, let's go and have a drink. She hated alcohol and she hated cigarettes. I've never been a smoker. Apart from when I was a small boy in the Bunyora, I smoked some weed.
Sarah.
It's an initiation of every young man in the Bunyora, you must take some weed. And I hear it takes 7 years, one roll takes 7. So some of it must be still in me. But I've never been a fan of smoking per se. But I enjoyed my booze. So, and I had company of people who enjoy booze. I had a really good company. There are times over a weekend we will buy like 15 crates of beer.
What?
And put in one place. Buy like 5 bottles of whiskey, the John Walker stuff, and put it in our place. For our girls, we'll buy them, I've forgotten the names. There are things, woodpecker, those kind of things, and put them there. And then we'll siphon that over the weekend and we are good to go. With a few 2 mbusis dead there. On Sunday we'll be boiling the heads and taking soup and remembering how it was from Friday. So I think that was my undoing throughout my marriage. Not being there for my family. For my wife per se. And by then I had a daughter, Lauren. So I'll disappear with my friends and come home maybe midnight earliest, 5 in the morning, or 2 days, 3 days.
Probably you're coming very unstable.
Drunkard.
Yeah.
I'm a very loyal person. And I was loyal to alcohol. Very loyal. She knows I'm loyal to her. I've been loyal to alcohol. Like right now I'm serving God and I'm loyal to my master Christ.
That one I know.
I don't know how to double deal. So when I was...
You can be passionate if you put your mind on something.
Not I can be. I'm really passionate about what I do. So that life continued for some time, the life of drinking, and it was really messing us up. I remember what she used to do then, how she started weaning me out of over drinking.
Wow.
She started telling me like she can't eat alone. She finds it too hard to eat alone. So I'll go home and I'm coming home at 2 in the morning and I find her sitting.
Wow.
You found her seated?
Several times I'll find her sitting. And I'm like, what are you doing?
And she's not fighting, like quarreling?
Were you violent?
Tantrums?
Myself, no, I've never been violent. I've never even killed a fly. But I kill mosquitoes.
And mom, you're not fighting, like throwing tantrums, like most of us would do?
I wasn't. I can't explain and say this was the reason, but generally, I don't think I'm a fighter.
You just sit and wait.
I think at that point I'm wondering, is he safe?
Oh.
If I go to sleep, when he knocks, will I hear the knock and be able to open? Those were the things that would keep me awake.
Wow.
Yeah.
But she was tricky. Because I'll find her seated at 2 in the morning. Then she's like, she's not eaten anything. And I feel so guilty. So we have to eat now with her. And you know, I've been drinking, so I've eaten, you know, nyama choma definitely. So we'll have to eat with her, then go and sleep. I feel so bad that I kept her waiting the whole night. So I started reducing from 2 to 12. You know, it's progressive, eh? You don't just stop these things. Started reducing from 12 to 10. At least 10 was comfortable. For a long time now, I will not, even if I'm in a club and it reaches 8, I'll get my way out because I must get home. Because by 10, we must have dinner with her and then she goes to sleep. So long after I'd stopped alcohol, I had turned to the Lord, and we were having some good time somewhere. She told me, you know what? Those days I used to tell you I've not eaten. I used to cook and eat properly first.
Wisdom.
And I'll wait for you to come home and tell you I've not eaten anything. Can't you remember? I didn't even used to eat a lot of food, just touch it. I can't remember. I was drunk when I came home. So she used some wisdom to pull me out slowly by slowly. I praise God. She was not a clubbing lady. When I got her, she hated alcohol. She hated alcohol with all her blood. She hated cigarette smoking. So she never encouraged me in that direction. Then number 3, again, I had my relationship with my parents was not so good at that time. So slowly she worked out and reconciled with my parents. And we were able now to come home and meet our parents. So all that contributed to me being what I am, but then me moving out of the club slowly by slowly. So
Maybe just to ask Mom,
yes.
what kept you sane during those days? Because most of us would not take it lightly. You have kids, you have yourself emotionally, you feel like this guy is emotionally absent most of the times. So what is it that you are doing? Was it either you were praying or...
I wouldn't say I was praying per se. I've grown up in a Catholic upbringing, and prayer was quite mild.
Yeah.
But I think there's one thing I've grown up believing, that I am me. It is not somebody else who makes me. So, well, he's gone drinking. I went to work. I came home. I have a small baby. I have enough things on my hands. So instead of thinking and wondering and stressing myself about where he is, yet my hands are full, I think in terms of thinking about him, it's just his safety. That was the paramount. And these other times, I'm actually busy. I have a baby to take care of.
Yeah.
And I'm from work, of course.
So a busy schedule kept you.
I had a busy schedule. And as I said, I'm not a fighter. So for as long as he's not violent, he's having his fun. My fun is being at home. His fun is clubbing. He's tried to drag me there. So it's hard for me. I couldn't bring myself to just pull him out of it, because I think if I had tried that, then I think we would have had the fight.
I also think most men keep on drinking because on how the women respond to their drinking. We kulewa leo kila siku, in this house you come, you don't. But now he's saying that he'll just come and the wife is just she doesn't fight.
Yeah, but unajua, women are different. There is one who will approach the issue differently. There is a fighter who will want to come to club and ask you, what are you doing? It's already midnight. We are going home.
And now you,
Yeah.
so you see,
Which is wrong.
She will make the home very unbearable. So the man will increase hours from 10 now to 2 days. But now she made him to reduce hours.
Maybe let me say this. In every man, in every male creation of God, there's wired an ego. That the moment a woman tries to control that man, the man becomes worse 2 times.
Yeah, that's very true.
The ego of a man will never allow a woman. You will go to the club, shout at him, but you're going to lose him
doesn't
completely.
help.
It doesn't help at all. And it's not something that you can remove from a man. It's the ego of a man. That inside him, you can't change that. Even just quarreling. The moment you quarrel a man, you are making him worse than what he was before. Yeah, men are talked to. Men are sweet talked.
You have an amicable conversation with them.
Yeah. Apart from our own ways of life that kept us not interfering with each other, but we said something so stupid at the beginning of our marriage. I don't know where it came from, but it's so strong in us even right now. She told me, if you have decided to marry me, you've decided to take me as your wife, then know that there's no day I will leave this house and say I'm going back to my parents' place. We were 2-3 years in marriage, I think. So we joked about it.
Nice
She said, I'll never leave you. Then she said, but you can send me out of this house if you want. But if you send me out of this house, you will allow me to go with everything that belongs to me. And the first thing I'll have to pack is you.
In short, it's impossible.
So if I have to send her away, then
go
she'll
together.
pack me, I don't know, in a
The
box or what,
children.
and go with me. So it was impossible that...
That's a stand.
Words have power.
The second thing we said is that we have our marriage that is secure. Actually, we used, because by then she had just started working with a financial institution. So we said our marriage, we are putting it in a safe, locking the safe and throwing away the keys. We will never open that safe again.
Wow.
But again, we said, we know we are human beings. We will differ. When we differ, let's solve the problem that we have, not our marriage. Our marriage is safe in the safe. Those two things, we said them when we were young, innocent, we had no wisdom, but the Lord put them on our lips. And even now, we share them with couples and they're like, think about it. When you are differing with your spouse, it's not your marriage. It's the principles, maybe your principles, your characters. You solve that not the marriage. The marriage
marriage.
is safe
Hivyo
and
ikuwa
secure.
sasa tuna
So
nullify
the issue
marriage.
sasa we always deal it, hii ndoa yetu, this is our marriage. So the issue is not their marriage,
Yeah.
it's us.